This video is not a call out. This is a call in. Not even necessarily to this creator because they've very much like dug their feet in the sand, but more so to people that want to do the good work but don't recognize the pitfalls that they have historically been falling into, but want to make a change, want to be on the right side of history, of community. That's who I am calling in. Whether this creator does or does not want it, that's not up to me. There's more than enough people that are trying to talk to them. That's not me. So for those of you who are a part of the collective online that is interested in decentering men and what that looks like, and there are some people that talk about this in a way that's more, I don't want to say that's more pointed than I say it. There are some people that have a gentler touch than me. I'm one of many. And this creator, who is known as the Flawed Villian, is one of those creators, and they have, I think that's her pronouns has risen to popularity very, very quickly. Now there's a whole other thing to be said about this creator and Selena Regina, who is a true pillar of this kind of education, and is also a dark-skinned Black woman who has the experience that a lot of us have been experiencing when it comes to censorship on these apps and what that is like as a Black creator. So that's a whole other thing. But what I really want to talk about is how white feminism actually has a way of destroying like the foundations of the work that we are trying to do. What do I mean by this? Intersectionality. She forgot. I don't even want to say forgot. I think she's too smart to have forgotten it. I think that it was a very intentional choice to take intersectionality and put it somewhere so far away from her, because her focus is, yes, on decentering men and patriarchy. But as I've said in multiple videos, patriarchy, white supremacy, and oh my goodness, there's another thing that I can't remember. And there it is, capitalism. Three heads of the same hydra. You can't kill one and expect the beast to die. And she and creators like this have only been focusing on one. What do I mean by this? I will tag the video up here so you can go and watch the video that I am referencing, and ideally support that creator, because it took a lot of work to compile the notes that I'm getting ready to share. But these are just some of the things that have been spoken from this creator. So she said that Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King were ops used by the government for race wars. She said that illegals should not be allowed to pass the border. She has some weird Trump sympathy content, which as of yesterday, aka the day that I am filming this, she said loud and proud, I voted for Trump. I voted for Trump in this most recent election. And a lot of punching down to sex workers also. So before I show some like very quick receipts about how this kind of work was just like, I draw the line at just men. It is just men that we need to, listen, I understand men are a problem. I know, I talk about it all the time. But before I show a more specific example of how this kind of thing shows up. Hi, my name is Shayna. On this platform, I talk a lot about decentering men and child-free living. If any of that sounds like a vibe, please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to book a call with me, ways to do that are in the description. If you want to also learn how to become a journalist or start writing for money, ways to do that are in the description. And for more content, head over to my Patreon. Link also in the description. But now watch this. We're not going to watch the whole video. I just want to focus on a little bit because I don't want this video to be insanely long. But watch this clip and then we'll talk.
Serious note, do y'all want open borders on the planet? Because I do hear that as a talking point, that borders are control, right? But you do understand that most countries that a lot of people fantasize about have very high border security. Like, is just gaining traction because y'all think that I'm gonna say something about ICE and saying like that's like justified. I don't think that's justified. Again, who runs ICE? Men. Who creates all these problems? Men. I think my point was very clear. I think everyone just wants to twist it into something that it's not. I'm saying that men are dangerous and that we shouldn't have open borders. You know, we already have dangerous men here, right? and there's dangerous men everywhere. So if the planet was just a free-for-all, if we had some sort of communism where it was just one world, like, y'all think the men would just, like, care about us, like, sharing and caring? Like, legitimate question. Because I know that this is, like, a talking point in a conversation around all this. So I'm just like, you know. And need I remind y'all, I am an immigrant.
Whoop. I think that we've heard enough. I think that we've heard enough to have a couple of moments to discuss. So, one, are all immigrants men? Women also, and non-binary people and queer people are also trying to immigrate places also. It's not just men that want to go from point A to point B. So you see how easy this hydra, you see how easy these kinds of arguments just really crumble in the face of intersectionality. But there is more of like a superiority complex that I have seen in a lot of like Trump, what is it called? Like Latinos for Trump or other immigrants for Trump, where it's like, oh, I did this the right way. Like there's one way to move from one place to another. So everybody else that wasn't able to do that, they are criminals and they deserve to be treated however they're supposed to be treated. And yes, things need to be. So there, and that, as we have seen in all of the content for all of these other minorities for Trump, and let us not forget, this is a white immigrant. The experience is already vastly different, coming from the daughter of two immigrants, right? So let's talk, that's one point. Another point, talking about, oh, well, who is ICE's men? It does not take much other than a quick Google of who is ICE leadership to see multiple white women in ICE leadership. So I don't know what to tell you here. I did a deep dive into why I do not trust all women. I will never just automatically trust all women, and neither should you. I did a whole deep intersectional breakdown on this of what this looks like throughout history, because this idea, let me refer back to the handy dandy, if your decentering men still centers whiteness or does not break down the systemic problems involved in whiteness and capitalism, you're just giving yourself a man by another name to worship. That same creator, as of yesterday from when I am filming this, hopped onto a live with Princella the Queen Maker and said to Princella, a loud and proud black woman who, yes, has said some things about the trans community that I cannot support. But she said to a black woman, yes, I have voted for Trump. And we should, and I don't know if Princella knew that before she hopped on the live with that lady or not. But how can you say that you are here to decenter men and uplift women when you are uplifting a man who is actively criminalizing the experience of being anyone but a straight, cis, white, able-bodied man? And my last thought on this, if the thought leaders that you are listening to on YouTube, on whatever device we're having this conversation with, or you're going and listening to attending conferences or whatever thought leaders you are choosing to invest your time into and energy into are not intersectional, and if they are only talking about men are the only problem, congrats. You have forgotten that a hydra has more than one head. And there you are with your fists being like, I killed the beast. How long do you think you could stand there before the other head comes to bite you? But these are my thoughts. Feel free to type them below if you want to leave a gift. Ways to do that are also in the description. Please think critically. Stay safe out there.